So guys, I'm a bit busy at the moment. I was about to sort of go for a swim. I don't have time to talk about the Monster 797. So if you don't mind, can we do this a bit later? I'm busy, there's a swimming pool, you know. Yeah, I'm sorry. You'll be around later, it's fine. It's fine, no. You'll be around later, it's fine. We can do this later, all right? I've dried off now, not just from the swimming pool, but also from the soaking wet conditions that plagued the launch of the new Monster 797. But even though riding a bike and being soaking wet is never ideal, the Monster 797 still managed to shine through as a fun bike, and it's the definition of easygoing, light and simple, and that is really obvious from the moment you get going. So the key thing to know about this new small capacity Monster is that it's been created with a back to basics philosophy. So it's basically designed to be the perfect entry into Ducati, especially for new riders. Being a Ducati, it's a premium product and it comes with a premium price, one that starts at £7,895. So that's a fair whack more than the competition. The Yamaha MT-07, for example, will set you back just over £6,000, while the Suzuki SV650 comes in at £5,699, although I think you can argue that neither of those bikes is as aspirational as the 797. And it's also likeable because of its simplicity and ease of use. So with no riding modes or traction control settings to faff with, you just turn the key and go, and there's its allure. It's simple, like the first 600cc Monster, and it shares a few things in common with the M600, like an air-cooled V-twin, the 803cc Desma Due lump from the Scrambler family itself, derived from the Monster 796, puts out 75 horsepower at 8,250 RPM and 50.8 pounds-foot of torque at 5,750 RPM, and it's housed in a new tubular steel trellis frame, and it's got a double-sided swing arm as well. And the engine smoothly delivers its unintimidating power with good torque in the middle of the rev range and some beginner-friendly punch on tap when the motor's spinning between sort of 4,000 and 7,000 RPM, although beyond that lies the rev limiter at just over 8,000 RPM, which is easily found. But the torque available should ensure that the Monster will be a confident city bike while still being capable of blurring hedges at the periphery of your vision as you leave the city, because it quickly and smoothly gets up to and beyond sort of 60-70 miles an hour. Although criticisms, well, it lacks the excitement of the MT-07's motor, and I'm sure that it does feel a bit flatter than the V-twin in the SV650. But chuck in the friendly and predictable response from the throttle, plus the lovely light action slipper clutch, and the 797's powertrain feels spot on for this entry-level bike, with the only blot in its copybook coming from the occasionally clunky gearbox, which often made me work to find neutral. But fiddling about with the gear lever was about as complex as it got for the Monster 797, and the lack of electronics beyond the Bosch ABS means that the LCD dash screen is basic and as clear as they come. There's not even a gear position indicator or consumption information, which I somehow managed to live without. Whether you think Ducati missed a trick by leaving off traction control is a matter for debate, but the rear Pirelli Rosso 2 tyre was untroubled by the drenched French tarmac, and it performed solidly in the dry too. So the Monster 797 is a stripped back bike, but it hasn't been given bargain basement parts. So instead of the traditional, maybe slightly bouncy forks you might expect on a sort of entry level bike, the 797 gets a 43mm upside down Kayaba fork and Brembo M3 32 front calipers, meaning a decent looking and performing front end. Although the front suspension is soft, it's nicely damped, and the result is a comfortable and controlled ride feel. And in the rear, the preload adjustable side-mounted sack shock didn't really give me anything to complain about either. The front Brembo 4-piston calipers feel spot on for this bike, and they offer plenty of power and good feel through the adjustable front brake lever. And the same compliance continues through the way it handles and its ergonomics. So it's a bike that definitely feels light and effortless to turn, and the low 805mm seat height means it should also be manageable for a lot of people. Its balance at slow speed, it's impeccable, and there's plenty of steering lock on offer. And the 797's delicate feel also means that it's great on a fast flowing road, so changing direction doesn't require any muscling or hustling, and the ease with which it behaves is precisely how an entry-level bike like this should feel. Now, last year when I rode the Monster 1200S, The thing that immediately struck me was how aggressive the riding position is. It's like you're sitting on top of the tank and you're pitched really close to the bars. So although the Monster 797 shares the same tank as the 1200 and the 821, its ergonomics are a bit more relaxed than its bigger brothers because you're pitched less forward and the pegs aren't as high and set back. So it means that even though the Monster 797 is a compact bike, the ride position manages to feel comfortable and welcoming with a relaxed reach to the bars. So simply put, the 797 is a simple entry-level bike. It's one that's devoid of all but the most essential ingredients. It is unfussy, undemanding and accessible, and its light, easy handling means it still retains a sporty character. In fact, it's the most fundamental bike in Ducati's range. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going for a swim.